This is Richard Wolff for Democracy at Work with another EconoMinute. I'd like to speak with you about the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. It is being rushed to repeal, to being thrown on the dustbin of history by a Republican Congress and a new president. And in their rush, something very important is happening that is not well understood. President Obama pushed that bill through Congress in order to achieve, he said, two goals. The first was to extend medical insurance coverage to the tens of millions of Americans who still didn't have it. And the second one was to contain medical costs. Let me explain briefly why these were two very good objectives. First, it's a bit of a scandal that the United States has more people as a percentage of its population covered by no medical insurance than any other advanced industrial country in the world. It's a scandal, it's a shame, it's an outrage, and President Obama, to his credit, wanted to do something to at least reduce that number, which the Affordable Care Act did. The second objective was to contain medical costs. That's also a scandal in the United States, where we spend roughly 18% of the total income and spending we do in our society on medical care. Much, much more than most other advanced industrial countries, including quite a few who have better medical conditions and better medical outcomes for their people on half the money we spend than we get. On that objective, Affordable Care Act was not particularly successful. Medical costs have continued to rise. No real control on them was achieved. Along the way, the Republicans and much of the establishment were hostile to the Affordable Care Act. The Democrats generally supported it, the Republicans were against it. A great deal of time was spent arguing over this or that detail, as if that was explaining why people were either for it or against it. But the truth of it is, the opposition then to the Affordable Care Act and the opposition that is now rushing to repeal it has nothing whatever to do with the details of who's covered in what way by what government program within that act. No, the answer is much simpler. The opposition to the Affordable Care Act comes from rich people. End of story. And the reason is really simple. The money to pay for the medical care exchanges, for the extension of the insurance, and so on, to people of modest means was derived from taxes on people earning $200,000 a year or more as individuals, or $250,000 a year or more as couples. They were taxed on their ordinary income, they were taxed on their income from stocks and bonds and wealth, and the result was that the richest Americans were the ones who had to pay the extra for this kind of quality medical care. And the fact of the matter is they don't want to pay. And by repealing the Care Act and pretending that it has to do with this or that kind of coverage within it is a smokescreen to hide the raw reality. Rich people don't want to pay for medical care for others, and they have found in the Republican Party and Donald Trump a vehicle to achieve the repeal that'll save them tax money. How much? The average millionaire in America will save $50,000 a year. The average of the top 1/10 of 1% will save $175,000. Rich people don't want to spend the money, Republicans do the work, and the rest is just noise. This is Richard Wolff for Democracy at Work, and with another EconoMinute.